You've been doing all this work to look amazing, feel amazing, lose some weight, get fitter, live much better, have a better life. And you've done all this work to get you to the point you are now, struggling with the last 10 or 15 pounds, maybe the last 5 pounds. You're doing all the things right that got you to this point, but they're not seeming to get you to that last bit of tightness, of being toned and fit and looking lean that you're really looking for. So what's the deal here? The truth is that there's a big concept, a very important concept for losing the last 10 pounds. And that really important concept is simple. What got you here won't get you there. What's up, guys? This is Alex Hine over at modernhealthmonk.com. You know, I've actually seen people lose 30 to 100 pounds without any exercise whatsoever. It sounds far-fetched, but again, it depends on where the person's starting, how unhealthy they were, and what they eat this time around. But I've seen that more than a dozen times. The problem is, once you get more towards a normalized weight, where your body naturally wants to be, it becomes harder to lose those last few pounds, obviously because the calorie range is much different. You can be 300 pounds and eat, 3,500 calories or more a day. But if you're down to 180 pounds, getting down to 160 is a bigger change in your calories. But the point is that there are a few ways you need to change your approach if you're going to lose the last 10 pounds. And there are really 3 or 4 things to focus on. The first thing is that losing the last 10 pounds is really a fine-tuning process. So what I mean by that is you're going to have to really figure out what works best for you, and you're going to have to take a few things and kind of twist the dial a little bit more. For example, if you're sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night and that's been working for you up until this point, you may have to fine-tune that a bit and maybe add an extra hour of sleep to get up to that 7 minimum recommended range. It may also mean that having a soda a day may mean the thing you have to cut out. Or having half a bar of chocolate, and even though you've eaten great the rest of the day, it may mean maybe you have to eat, a quarter of that or a half of that. It may mean if you were eating a ton of carbs every meal and you got away with it because so far you lost a lot of weight, it may mean putting your carbs around your workout times. So that's what I mean by a fine-tuning process. You really have to dial in some of the other habits and the behaviors that you might have been a little bit lax on because you were still getting results, but now's the time to really get a little bit stricter with those. The second thing is you really need to, at this point, exercise. Bottom line, like I said, a lot of people I've seen lose 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds without exercise. Generally, the look that most of you are referring to when you say, I want to lose the last 10 pounds, is really that toned, fit, tight look. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's almost always the same look people are looking for, the lean, very tight, muscular look. And to get there, it's almost always a matter of weight training. Doesn't matter if you're a 50 or 60, 70-year-old woman or a 22-year-old guy. The process is the same, and that means adding in weight training. I would aim for 3 times, 30 minutes a week, but the point is that weight training will help increase your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate. It'll also activate that quote-unquote afterburn effect when you work out. But the main thing is that more muscle mass is going to increase your metabolic rate just a little bit. And just visually, the look of losing a bit of fat and gaining a bit of muscle actually is the toned look that most men and women want. So the bottom line is you may need to add in weights. Realistically, you're going to have to add in a weight training session. I would aim for 3 30-minute sessions a week. The third thing here is that you may need to become more religious about exercise. Now, I've found that majority of people I've seen can get really super fit, 3 weight training sessions of 30 minutes a week, if they are dialed in with their nutrition, like really pristine. At this point, you may have to turn that up to 5 times a week. 5 30 or 40-minute sessions. Certainly you can get in ridiculously fit-looking shape in 5 sessions of 40 minutes a week at the max. There's no doubt about that. Now, another thing, in addition to the weights, is you might want to add in more high-intensity training. So this is the fourth. High-intensity training has recently become very vogue and in fashion because they found that it really burns more calories and accelerates the metabolism in a very short period of time compared to running 40 or 50 minutes, for example. But you could put in you could turn your workout into a circuit where you go back-to-back workouts, or what you can do is do 3, 4, or 5 workouts, like a push-up, a sit-up, a pull-up, a squat. You can do those back-to-back, then take a break for a minute or 2, and then repeat the circuit again and do that for your whole workout. And that's going to add a little bit of a cardio as well as an anaerobic component there. So a quick recap, losing the last 10 pounds is a bit of a fine-tuning process. You may have to clean up any loose ends, any places where you're not being that disciplined and not focused on your habits. They may have been fine before, but now you really have to dial those in. The second thing is, it's a matter of not only cleaning up the loose ends, but dialing things in, experimenting and seeing what works. The third, add in weight training. The fourth is you may want to add in some high intensity training, but certainly I would say you may need to get up to maybe 5 workouts a week at that point. Again, it's all a fine-tuning process. Try things out, see how they work for you. That is your tiny habit for today. Focus on those core 4 or 5 strategies. Now, if you like this video, make sure you go on over to modernhealthmonk.com. That's really where all the magic happens. I've got a free guide for you there. 5 daily habits to help you lose your next 10 pounds. The exact things to do. Make sure you click the Monk Dude to subscribe, get the next video right when it's out. And if you like this tiny daily habits approach, make sure you go on over to Amazon, check out my book, Master the Day. If you like my videos, really the best way to pay it forward and say thank you is to get the book and leave an honest review, because that's the hardest part. Again, go do those things, check it out, try that out, let me know your results down below, and I will catch you in the next video.